Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very interesting video because we have the rumors, the updates, the news, and the leaks. And I have a very strong feeling a Nintendo Direct is coming, if not this week, next week at the latest, probably a partner showcase. And I'll tell you why in this video and show you some evidence. Then on top of that, I think we actually have a real insight into why more leaks are happening more frequently. And I don't just mean through Nintendo as well, I mean pretty much throughout the entire gaming universe currently. And then on top of that, it seems like game key cards should be coming out less frequently, which is a good thing. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. That's right, Buster, Buckaroo, Buddy, all of that good stuff. This video is very interesting, and we're going to talk about a wide range of topics: Nintendo Direct potentially, leaks, rumors, updates, news, game key cards, Exos out, we don't want those anymore, and hopefully that's going to become a reality very soon. Yeah, a lot of stuff is happening, and it's all very exciting stuff. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. We need like 40 subscribers to have 29,000, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep the communities growing. I should be one of those like people who auction off stuff. And let's go ahead and get right into this video. So quickly, let's get some of these smaller news out of the way. Overwatch 2 has an official Switch 2 version that will be arriving actually today. And this is a game I've been interested in. I think I played it for like a week on the Switch and thought it was fun. And I can't remember why I stopped playing it. So this is really cool that it has an actual Switch 2 version. It's going to be 60 frames per second, which, you know, kind of is a must in these shooters. And that would be both handheld and docked mode. And then there's rumors, I think, of a potential mouse mode. So, you know, maybe you don't care about Overwatch, and I'll be honest, it's like the least of my gaming focus right now. But I do think it is awesome that we're getting this on the Switch 2. And, you know, by the time we hit that 1 year mark on the Switch 2, the library is going to be insane. So yeah, I'll take any welcome addition that we can get. Now, a game that comes out either today or Thursday. So much stuff is coming out this week. Pragmata. You know, this is a game that I thought looked interesting. You know, it's a new IP, but I thought, it's probably not going to be as good as it at least seems. Then they put out the demo, and the demo was great, but you know, just because the demo is good, the game can still turn out to be maybe misleading or not as good as we thought. And we have to remember we're talking about the Switch 2 edition of this game as well. Like, yeah, it's on the PS5, but I'm focusing on the Switch 2 edition right now. Well, reviews are out, and Pragmata looks like a smash hit for Capcom. And if we can keep it real, Capcom needs some kind of award on the Switch 2 because they are like the ultimate developer. And then it actually makes sense why they got the first amiibos, and then these amiibos as well, like third-party ones. And they also got the first special edition Pro Controller for the Switch 2. Very interesting stuff. So yeah, Pragmata, you know, there's a demo out there. If you're on the fence about it, I would check out that demo. It's not the longest game, about 10 to 12 hours. I would rather a game be like a nice short length than a lot of filler. So you're definitely going to get your value's worth out of this one. Yeah, it's just awesome that this is a new IP and that it just seems to be a great success, especially on the Switch 2. Now, before we get into like some leaks, as well as my theory about a Nintendo Direct, probably a partner showcase, and then some evidence of why all these leaks are happening more frequently. And I just don't mean like Nintendo leaks. It's kind of a crazy thing to think about, and then it makes so much sense, right? The number one negative thing, I guess, about the Switch 2, right? If you were to ask people, aside from the pricing, you know, yeah, the price is not great, but it's starting to look better in comparison to other consoles that came out years before and are getting more expensive as they go. But sure, Switch 2 kind of expensive, games pretty expensive, sure, but we're not talking about that. If I were to ask you what is the number one negative thing about the Switch 2 currently, you might say the battery, which it's not great, but it's okay. But the main thing is game key cards, right? So when this started going, I guess, viral in conversation, people were saying, I'm never buying a game key card. I'll just buy it digital. This is anti-consumer. This is this, that, and the third. And I'm not here to argue against all those points, but it kind of is what it is, you know? And me, I like to buy a game, play it, and then resell it towards my next game. My collection right there, not the biggest collection, not because I don't want a lot of games, I just currently can't afford a lot of games, so I have games that I'll play a million times over. Those are the ones you see up there, like Zelda, Pokemon, stuff like that. Then I have other games, I'll play them, beat them, say that was cool, then I'll sell that towards my next game. And a game key card allows me to do that. So I always go physical, and now I go physical / game key card on the Switch too. But there are people who are out there saying, I'm just not gonna buy these. And that is fair. Now we heard rumors probably 3 or 4 months ago that Nintendo or whoever is gonna start producing smaller cart sizes. And I think it was like a third-party game that accidentally leaked this out. And, you know, we have seen a few more true physicals recently from third-party and indie games. Like actually a decent amount. So then you think, well, maybe they are making smaller sizes. But now we have pretty much proof of that. At least I would say so. So shout out to Spawnwave. He made a video about this. So I'll be taking footage from his video. But if you want to go watch his video and he breaks it down a little bit better. But this is awesome news, man. So what he did is compare Mario Kart World to Mio Memories in Orbit, which is a phenomenal game, truly amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, Mio Memories in Orbit is $30 for a physical. And I think we were hearing that cartridges for the 64 gigabytes were maybe $17. So let's just say you have a $17 cartridge, the retail is getting a cut, somebody else is getting a cut, Nintendo's getting a cut. Selling a $30 game with a $17 cartridge, it just doesn't seem like a smart choice. So on the screen right now, I'll be showing you the two comparisons. And the Mario Kart to Mio, Mario Kart says G66, Mio says G46. So what he's thinking, at least the theory is G and then a number is the cartridge size. So it does seem like, at least, you know, right here, it does seem like there are smaller Switch 2 cartridges, and this is amazing news. Now, if we can keep it real here, if a company wants to cut corners and save money, they're gonna do that no matter what. Like, now that game key cards are a thing, and let's say Nintendo even makes an announcement saying, yeah, we have smaller cartridges now, and this is great for publishers. If a company wants to cut corners and save money, even though the smaller cartridge may be less money now, they're still going to go the game key card route. And it just seems like this is a staple of the Switch 2, right? Maybe if these smaller cartridges would have came out in the first couple of months, we could have molded this whole game key card, buying this, not buying this, getting them, not getting them thing. We could have been like, yeah, we're just gonna say, you know what, that was a floozy for the first couple of months, but now we're on to only true cartridges or true physicals. But I feel like it was out here for so long that publishers were able to test the water. And you know, we have games like Pokemon Pocopia, where it's like, well, this is first party, but they use a game key card and it broke records, right? One of the fastest selling Pokemon games in history. It also became a system seller for the Switch 2, and it's a game key card. Now, I hope Nintendo never goes that route, because now they see that, you know, people will buy game key cards if they just want to play the game. But I do feel like at the same time, publishers, developers, whatever, even the smaller ones are like, you know what? If you put these physicals out there, people are going to buy them and only buy those and no game key cards. So better late than never. I hope we see this become a trend more and more. And there is some actual truth to people not wanting to buy game key cards. Like, Target's been having a bunch of weird clearance sales on Switch and Switch 2 games randomly all the time. And people will post the pictures on Reddit. And if it's a game that released on the Switch and Switch 2, like Dragon Quest or something, the Switch 2 version will be discounted more than the Switch version, which is kind of crazy. Now, if you were to ask me, are we getting a Nintendo Direct in April? I would say yeah. What makes the most sense is a partner showcase, although there is a rumor that this week or next week, Star Fox is getting announced on the Nintendo Today app. And if it is this week, I would say that's actually going to happen today, Tuesday, the day that this video comes out, because we have Tamagotchi Life on Thursday. And you guys know my theory. I think it's going to be a game tied to Nintendo Online. But that's another conversation for another day. So I think we're getting a partner showcase. We have Tamagotchi Life this week. It still could happen this week. But if I had to guess, it's going to happen next week. And normally what happens is Xbox, well, normally PlayStation and Nintendo will have events about the same time. And there's a third-party State of Play rumored for this week as well. Now, on top of that, Xbox is rumored to have some kind of third-party event as well, or some kind of event. So it just seems like there's a bunch of games that will be simultaneously promoted, cross-promoted, announced, whatever. But that doesn't mean just because they're doing events that Nintendo will do one. But now we have seen a bunch of games be rated. Now some of those games were first-party games, which would make sense for a first-party direct. But there was a game, it was the same day that all those other ratings came out, and that was for Marvel Guardians of the Galaxies, which is a phenomenal game, which I do think was technically on the Switch through cloud version, whatever. So that was rated in Taiwan, I believe. Now this game is being rated through ESRB, which I gotta say, 100% this is coming to the Switch too. Now something we all hope this will be a true physical, because I would pick this up in a heartbeat. You guys know I'm not a superhero person, Marvel, DC, any of that shit at all. This is one of the best and underrated games ever. So I would pick this up in a heartbeat. But I just don't feel like this makes sense for just a random announcement like, hey, on Twitter, this game is coming on this day. This makes perfect sense to be in a partner showcase. And then we have Elden Ring, which is showing up for pre-orders at Amazon. That makes perfect sense for a partner showcase. Then you have to remember we have all these other games that are being rumored or have been leaked or have been rated, or random trademarks or this or that and the third. So I just feel like a partner showcase is going to happen in April, maybe this week, but I would bet money next week. I just have a strong feeling it makes the most sense. Now, something very interesting. We're getting all these leaks happening all the time. And with Nintendo, it's Nate the Hate, it's whoever, it's this person, it's that person. I seen Nintendo Prime say that Nintendo is putting out like fake leaks, and they do this all the time. So they can see who's leaking that, then they catch them and say, ha, gotcha bitch, you're fired, or something like that. Which, as far as I know, gaming companies and tech companies and pretty much every company has done this pretty much forever. But I think he said multiple people have told him this, which is whatever, right? In my opinion, Star Fox and Zelda, those games being leaked out, there's some weight behind those, so I don't think those are fake leaks. So let's remove Nintendo from this equation, or not focus on Nintendo for this equation. There's a reason why I think game leaks are happening over and over. And I was on Fama boards, like talking to people about game leaks, some people who leak games, and they have a theory that just makes so much sense to why this is happening nonstop. Like literally the day that I made this video, Assassin's Creed Resynced, the Black Flag remake, that was leaked more. The end of 007 First Light, that was leaked more. There was a couple more games that leaked out today. And the theory is, since a lot more companies are using AI to send messages and for security and just integrating it into the way this whole whatever process works, right? Like development and encryption and this and that. Since they're using AI messes up all the time. And I think this actually makes a lot of sense, right? The more people are putting AI in this stuff, it's not foolproof, and they're substituting that for like real human work or whatever. It's making a lot of mistakes. I cover game leaks. I know some people are against them. It is what it is. But I think it's funny that you want to like cut corners and use AI for stuff like this. And now AI is biting you in the ass, potentially. So in my head, I'm going to say this is canon. This is the reason why game leaks are happening more and more. And it makes me feel good. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. This is a pretty big week in gaming, and it's pretty exciting stuff. So let me know what you guys are excited about this week. Start a conversation if you could. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe on the way out. Consider becoming a channel member. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and this Thursday, weekly streams. So come and hang out, and we'll stream and have fun together. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace.